All right, hey everybody, it's your boy Trey Maximus, and this is a video I never actually thought I would make, and I'm filming this inside my car, because my parents are in bed right now. I really have no other place really to film this where I won't wake them up. If you guys don't want to hear me talk, I'll just type a long story short below, but I really would appreciate if you guys actually watch the entire this video. And by the thumbnail and title of this video, yeah guys, it's over. So what I mean by it's over is Derek and Bryce, I saw them today. They're at my workplace here at Lowe's, and I actually saw Bryce's dad, and I said, is Bryce and Derek still hanging out? Because I haven't heard from either one of them in about 2 months now or so. And he said, yeah, they're hanging out right now. So next thing I know, I see both of them hanging out, and yeah, so now I just really know that they're just trying to avoid me. So yeah guys, that's really like the big story behind it, and it's not actually the first time they've done this. They've done this to me multiple different times, and if I'm just like the one that's like always getting hurt by this and everything, and it just keeps happening, then I know it's just gonna keep on happening. And so it's not really worth like going back if that's just what's gonna always happen, you know what I mean? So yeah guys, that's basically the bottom line of this, is that they're just not trying to, they just don't want to hang out with me anymore. So that is what it is, kind of thing. And yeah, that's just how it is. But here's actually the full story. So this is actually the full story of like what's been happening. So me and Bryce, we met during our first year of high school, our freshman year. During freshman year, we had first period together. Bryce was always shy, and then we actually had a group project that I invited him kind of like into that group, and me and Bryce weren't really that close and everything. And then when we had like school projects, I used to work with him. And then during the second semester is when me and Bryce started becoming more close, and we sat like in front of each other, like face to face each other in art class, and that's how like me and him became more like closer. We were just talking to each other, and kind of like making jokes, and we just became closer friends that way. And kind of the same thing was Derek. Like I met Derek during the freshman year of high school. We played a ball game. Like the freshmen would always go outside and we played a ball game with like a few friends, and that's how kind of like all three of us kind of like met each other, was kind of like that, except Bryce and Derek, I think they actually met each other before high school, but that's just where I met them, was freshman year during high school. And none of us really became close until like during sophomore year. And during sophomore year, me and Bryce actually, like, that's how we became more close. And then during sophomore year, me and Bryce, we didn't have any classes together, and I think the same thing went for me and Derek. But me and Derek actually were never like really like close during sophomore year. But me and Bryce we only saw each other during lunchtime, and we always sat next to each other and kind of like talked about like things we want to do like in the future. And funny enough as this sounds, me and Bryce were actually talking about like getting a job together, because it'd be really cool if we worked together. And the first thing we actually said was Kroger, and the next thing you know, I know we were both working at Kroger. So almost kind of like we predicted the future in a way. And then during junior year, I think I had just like one class with Bryce, and I always sat next to him during that. We always like kind of like worked together. Then it came into senior year of high school, and that's when things like took a big, like, it shot up like a rocket during that year. We had like 3 classes together, I think it was. We had ag mechanics, and we all worked together on a project on that. And I don't remember a bunch of senior year, but I know we had like ag mechanics, and that's how we became. And we had a picnic table that we made, and both of them like came over a few times, and that's kind of like how how high school was for us. Then going out of high school, that's when stuff took a major turn in our lives and everything. And the big turn that happened for us in high school, just going out of high school, we were, like I said, me and Bryce, we were working at Kroger, and then Derek kind of joined in Kroger a little bit afterwards. And then we just kept getting into like different like fights with each other, and we just like, we were still pretty young back then doing that, but we just kept getting like to different fights with each other, and just starting like just getting like mad with each other, and then just wouldn't really like connect on any like level that way. And that really honestly made me so mad, because like, we were always like so close friends, never really had much of a problem. But then after like going out of high school, I mean, we had a little bit of problems in high school, but it didn't take us long until we started like making up and everything. But then starting Kroger, where everything, we started getting like mad at each other, and we just wouldn't like talk to each other. And when it came down to a certain point eventually, when like Colby wasn't there and everything, like Colby was like another guy that we like hung out with. And the one thing I know that Bryce and Derek would always do is make sure that I was working like later and everything, so they couldn't hang out with me. So, I was working late that day, and I saw Derek and Bryce's car came up to the fuel station, and Derek just said, "Hey, what's up?" And I'm like, "Oh, you guys are hanging out." And he's like, "Yeah, Colby's in there too." And next thing I know, all three of them are hanging out without me, and they were making sure that, I was working late, so they couldn't hang out with me. So, after that, I decided to give him like another chance to like work everything's out. And, we did a channel called Practical Idiots, and we kept getting to have fights during that. And then that channel just went completely dead. And I did ask Derek, I said, "So why did you guys just like quit in Practical Idiots?" He's like, "Well, we want to hang out with you, but we just don't always want to like do videos." I said, "Okay, well, instead of like just quitting the channel, why don't you just say something instead of just quitting? We still could have had like that channel and make some like pretty good content for everyone, but you guys just could have said anything. You just said just quitting, which actually made me really upset, And then and Wyatt and Practical Idiots were going on with each other and everything. It was basically me against those three. And I was telling them, I said, "Well, why'd you guys say you wanted me to, why'd you guys want me to hang out?" Because I got off work later than they did. So then I went over to Bryce's house, and then I called Colby, and I said, "Hey, where you guys at and everything?" And he said, "We're ghost hunting, wherever the hell that is. I don't know what that is." And then I heard like them saying over the phone, "Don't tell them where we are. Don't tell them where we are. Don't tell them where we are." So that right there just shows you right there just what kind of friends they are. They just want to like they just kind of like stay away. And I said, "Well, you guys basically just lied to me, like you guys wanted to hang out, like you guys said you wanted to hang out with me, and the next thing you know, you just like go somewhere else." So I just went home, and I resigned from Practical Idiots, because the thing that they, because obviously they didn't want me to hang out with them. So and then like saying, "Oh, we didn't hang out with you today, boo-hoo," and everything. I'm just like saying, "Well, you guys lied to me, so obviously you very clearly don't want to hang out if you guys just lied to me and just tried, and then just didn't say, don't tell them like where we're at and everything. Obviously, then they don't want to, then obviously you guys just don't want to hang out. You just wanted to you just wanted to avoid me. So there you go, So going on further down the line, me and Derek, Derek and Bryce, we all made up and everything, and then we started working at Walmart. All three of us filled out the application at the same time and got an interview all the same day. And that's when things actually also took a major drop too, because when at Walmart, at Kroger, like our last week at Kroger, Derek was saying, I said, "All right, I think we're all good and everything." And he made jokes like he said, "Working with you gives me depression." And you really shouldn't joke about depression like that, because honestly that's really that's honestly one thing you should never joke about, especially when I went to a hospital for that. And so then that's what made Derek mad at me and everything, because I said don't ever joke about that, because that's something you shouldn't joke about, trying to help him out, kind of like not saying that to anybody. And that made him mad at me, and that's what made us kind of like split up as friends at that time too. And then then we started working at Walmart, and then when it came to Walmart, both Bryce and Derek, we never really did have a problem much at Walmart until Derek and Bryce actually threw me underneath the bus out there. And what happened was they told the trainer that was training us that I'd take way too long on my brakes. So then that trainer guy, he started timing me, and if I was going to be like, if I was like a few seconds or minutes late behind like took too long on my brakes and everything, then then he would tell somebody and they would write me up for that. So they threw me under the bus out there, and I got really mad at him for doing that and everything, because I could have got written up for that because of them. So I just decided to cut the line between with them. I decided to cut the line with them, and then after that, we tried to avoid each other as much as possible at Walmart, and then we decided to make up and everything. And Summer was one of the people that was one of the people that we actually met over at Kroger that we kind of worked with. And she actually told Derek that, she's like, man, you really hurt Trey when you just try to avoid him and hang out. And he's just like, okay. So obviously, he doesn't care. And she said I should just cut the line with Derek and everything. But me and Derek were always really close friends, so I didn't really want to cut the line with him. I think I honestly think Derek was a cool guy, and same thing with Bryce. And she said I should probably give Bryce another chance. And then we started working at Walmart, and then they just threw me underneath the bus there, and we eventually made up after that and everything. And now just going a little bit more forward down the line and everything, me and Derek, we were just mad at each other and just grew apart from each other. I just didn't really want anything to do with him, and I didn't really just hate him, but I just didn't really want to talk to him. But I talked to Bryce a little bit after that. And then I think beginning of this year and everything, well, not really the beginning of this year, I think it was 3 months ago or so, somewhere. And Derek said, he texted me and he said, hey, I just want to say that me and Bryce, we apologize for everything that's happened between us and everything. But I think I just really want to I just want to grow up and actually just not hold grudges against everybody. And that's when we started kind of getting all together and everything and hanging out, having a fun time and everything. And then eventually at some point, I tried texting Derek if he wanted to hang out and everything. And while we were hanging out, he said he wanted to come over that summer and go swimming and everything. And I said, okay, well, are you serious this time? Are you lying your ass off like you did last summer? And he's like, what do you mean? I said, last summer I asked you multiple times because you said you wanted to go swimming a lot, hang out and go swimming. And every single time I texted you, asked you if you wanted to come over to swim, there was always some kind of excuse not to hang out. And so he's like, don't bring that up. I said, I'm bringing that up because you said the exact same last year, we were friends back then, but now we're friends again, but I don't know if you're being serious anymore. So yeah, that's how that kind of turned out too. And then then I started texting Derek, and he won't reply. And I never really tried to get a hold of Bryce, but eventually I tried to call Bryce, and nothing with that too. And Derek said he didn't want to hang out, and next thing you know, I was waiting at Walmart, waiting for one of my friends to get off. Next thing I know, I see them going into Walmart because Derek said he didn't want to hang out today. So then I went up there and I confronted him. I said, so you didn't want to hang out today, huh? And next thing you know, they basically lied to me. And then next thing you know, I got left behind at Walmart, and they just left there and went back to Bryce's apartment. And then I went up there and I was all mad and everything because, they didn't even tell me that they left Walmart, because I was walking around Walmart trying to look for him, trying to meet up with him, and they just left Walmart and didn't even tell me where they were going or anything else. And then I texted Derek, where are you guys? And then he said St. Louis. So, that's obviously one thing right there. And then he met up with me again. He apologized. I said, I'm sorry I lied to you about not hanging out and everything. I'm like, all right, it's whatever, So then after moving a little bit more forward down that line and everything, this is where the line kind of got drawn. I kept texting Derek. He wouldn't say anything. There was always another kind of excuse not to hang out. And then, I thought just him and Bryce didn't want to hang out anymore. Well, then I just saw him today, and I asked Bryce's dad, I said, is Derek and Bryce hanging out? And he said, yeah, they're hanging out right now. So, they don't tell me that they're hanging out. They don't tell me anything. So, yeah, guys, that's just how the story goes. And so that's just how it is now. Just me and Derek, Bryce, our trio that we used to have, it's over. I don't I mean, there's no really point about being friends with somebody anymore if you're just gonna get hurt at the end and they're just like keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. You know, I've tried everything I can do to be friends with them, but you know, the same thing keeps happening. There's no point in keep going. So yeah, guys, that's just how it is. It's just over between the three of us. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. So because it's been going on for 15 minutes, and sorry that this video was kind of long, but I just felt like you guys needed to know that. So I guess I'll just try to find new friends and everything, but you know, it's not gonna be really that hard, you know, knowing that the history that us three had. But you know, that's just how it is now. So thank you all for watching this video. I will see you guys in my next video. Peace out.